Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blind Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Roni, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. The latest bombshell with an S within the music and entertainment industry makes me wonder, are there morals when it comes to victims and survivors of domestic violence? I feel that no man within the music industry should have any derogatory statements unless all of your lyrics show women in the most respectful light. Too many times in rap lyrics, women are disrespected and sexualized. The image created for many women in the industry are created by men and normally have sexual connotations. I listen to a lot of people talking about that the situation was a money grab, and the people who were saying that had not even read the complaint and did not even realize that a civil suit means I have a problem with you and you need to rectify your damages in whatever way that is deemed suitable. And I'm not even gonna mention or say that I'm just not even with that. But some of the comments made in a derogatory manner by some of the men was, it's like, do you do that too? Would you want to be accused of that? Would you treat your woman like that? Would you like your daughters to be treated like that? Any of those things before those comments were made. And with the images of many of these women in the industry, especially in hip hop, I don't even have to name the situation, but it's becoming raunchier each year. And this is another show that I want to do, but I wanted to speak about the Kaya situation when she was saying don't be comparing her to some of the artists that are out now, because she said, yeah, I did say that. She said, but I was talking about me, and I was talking about, how I'm going to be respected and all these different things. And the first thing they threw at her was her age. So that's another show for an upcoming show that I have planned on, because that's another way that women are being attacked in the industry. I've been planning on touching on domestic violence since the Keke Palmer situation. And that situation just happened, and it's like, it's another media cycle, but people in those situations still have to live with that. And I was proud of her because I know how hard it is to show your vulnerabilities to the world, knowing I have to do this, but I know this is going to be a public knowledge. And some people are going to say this, and some people are going to say, things that are not going to be favorable. And how am I going to prepare myself mentally for this? Then the Cassie situation came out and rocked the world. And I done a previous probably earlier today show. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but about some tarot readings where the music industry specifically came up. And the tarot readings were about, they didn't even have titles with music industry in it, but it was saying about how all these different things were going to come out, and then this came out as a public complaint. And I was speaking with one of my friends, and I had to let her know that she was speaking from an ignorant place, because she made a comment that I have seen other people make about she could have left. Now, even with me, I think there's a difference between a dispute, but I had a significant other that I had to part ways with, because I had to explain to him that my daddy name was Floyd and that I had already been raised. And whatever chastising or anything that he thought that he was going to tell me to do, baby, I have a sound mind, good brain, everything. If you're not the head of the house in the right way, there's no way that you're going to get a chance to try to mentally break me down. We're going to part ways. And even in trying to part ways, I was told that he thought about sneaking back to my house because I lived at that particular time on a dead end, and it was like a wooded area with a pond right next to my house. So I was already in a small town, and it was kind of like secluded. So he thought about coming back and Xing me out. And I told him, I said, what you think I was going to have waiting on you? And I was like, no, I said, I wasn't raised like that, so you have to go. And even after that, it was like issues to where I had to legally get something done. So, and I know that for myself, I'm a strong woman. Sometimes I feel like I'm stronger than some of these men around here. But, but it could become a situation where it's you fighting each other, which opens up a whole nother can of worms where people will think that you're violent and you're all of this right there. So being a victim, it kind of puts you in either you're going to be cower down or be in fight or flight. In the Cassie situation, for me, it went way beyond domestic violence. And I mean, that's seriously. And I think that's the reason why she worded some of the things the way it was worded in her complaint. And I've listened to some of the commentators. I've listened to Lovely T and Court Chronicles and Make It Make Sense, Writing a Voice, Impressive, and so many others. And they have put together great evidence and commentary and timelines that really stand behind Cassie's claims. And I commend them for that, because I was just crying just listening to parts of it. And I feel that Keke Palmer and Cassie Ventura and the public outcry will open the door to so many more domestic violence survivors getting justice. And take home, indie artists, when writing lyrics, be conscious of how many domestic violence acts you write into your lyrics. As I have said before, I said this in a blog, I think I said this in one of the podcasts that I did, the lyrics cast spells. And if you know someone suffering from domestic violence, please help. Even if it means just being vocal about what you know that's going on. I'm going to leave it at that for this one. And I know that this story right here is probably a more developing story. Everybody says that they think that more is going to come out behind it. I do have to believe that also. But remember to like, share, subscribe, or even disagree with Miss Roni's Blunt Intelligence. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blunt Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blunt Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a